morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Jan Fortman with Relationship Matters TV. I hope everyone is having a beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. We are here in Chicago, and you know what? The weather is changing a little bit, but the leaves are pretty. They're brown and they're yellow and they're gold. And a lot of people love fall. They love the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, but I'm not one of them. I prefer spring and summer because fall means snow pretty soon. Well, I'm glad you all are with us this evening. It's evening here in Chicago. And first, before we bring on our guests, I want to remind everyone that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And ladies, if you have not had your mammogram, please go and get your mammogram. Because we know in the Black community especially, Black women have that proclivity to have very aggressive breast cancer. And early detection is really, really, really vitally important. So what I want you to do, if you have not had yours, please, please, please go have your mammogram. Well, let's see. You know what? The guest that I have on this evening, you know, whether you believe in a higher power, well, someone told me to keep my finger down. If you believe in a higher power or angels or what luck, whatever you believe in, I found someone who rescued me. And when she comes on, I will tell you how she rescued me. Her name is Shavonna Allen, and she is an accountant. And the name of her company is Anointed and Appointed Counseling. Let me bring on to you right now, Shavonna Allen.
Hi, Dr. Fortman. Hello, everyone, wherever you are. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Shavonna. How are you this evening?
I am great for Thursday. I'm great for Thursday.
So why you say for Thursday? What's up?
Because typically people wait on Fridays or the weekends. I'm a Monday female. I love Mondays. So I'm waiting on Monday. I'm waiting on Monday.
Okay,
I
all right.
love Mondays.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Shavonna. She is an accountant, first of all, and I really,
Yes.
really, really needed one, and we're going to why I needed one. And she founded Anointed and Appointed Accounting Services, and she embarked on the journey to start her own business with the aim of creating an inclusive work environment that doesn't limit the growth of her team members, which you're going to meet them. She believes in providing equal opportunities for everyone to thrive.
Yes.
And she focuses primarily on providing educational content related to personal finances, taxation, and of course, accounting.
Yes.
So her goal is to empower individuals with the knowledge and tools necessary to make informed and improved financial decisions. And
Yes.
that is what she did for me. She really informed me of some things that she laughing, I really, really, really didn't know. So first of all, before we go into all what you do and the importance of having an excellent accountant,
Thank
let
you.
me tell you why I found Shavonna. I'm not going to mention his name, but I had an accountant and I paid him a nice piece of change to do my taxes, to do my 2020 taxes, 2021 taxes, and hopefully, I thought 2022 taxes. And that was, my personal and business. Guess what? He didn't file either one. I didn't know, I kept trying to find him. He was referred to me by someone who I trust, and I know she thought she was really giving me. She told me he's excellent. He's expensive, but he's excellent. Well, guess what? He never filed. He took my money. He never filed my 2020. He never filed my 2021. And I was searching for an accountant. And I'm part of the Calumet City of Illinois Chamber of Commerce. And who should I contact? Or who contacted me? But Shavana.
Me.
Shavana has saved me. So I just wanted you all to know that. And she told me some things that I didn't know. And the main thing, and I'm gonna get to you. The main thing was that I didn't know I was supposed that I could have an IRS account on and that I could go in there online and find out whether or not my taxes have been filed. I didn't know that. I thought I had to call up IRS and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Shavana,
Hi, Dr. Foreman. Thank you for
again,
your kind
thank
words.
you. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so,
much.
so,
Thank you.
so very much for being my guest. So, this
Thank
is
you
what
for
I want.
having
The
me.
first question I wanted to ask you: why did you become an accountant?
So, do you want the short story or like the really long one?
Medium.
So, I used to hear my older brother talk to his children about their future and how you plan for the difference between a job and a career. And in my teenage, young adult years, I was like, if I don't have to listen to this, I'd rather go outside and go to the club, right? So one day he told me, he said, you're going to need something to fall back on. So it's best that you start now. And I was like, whatever. Don't worry about it. McDonald's is always hiring. I'll be okay. Yeah, that didn't work, right? So so I went into several schoolings just to try to find my niche, just to try to find out what I wanted to do. And it took for my other brother to say, well, Siobhan, you're weird and you watch weird stuff. So why don't you do something with that, like forensics or something? And that made sense. So I like money and I like the whys and the how comes of things. So I put them together. So I went to school for forensic accounting and here I am.
Oh, you said forensic accounting? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
What is forensic accounting?
So the gist of forensic accounting is dealing with white collar crime, embezzlement, money larceny, you know, them higher crimes. And then, of course, you have the mediocre crimes. A crime is a crime, right? We don't want to undermine anything that's illegal. So we don't want to do that. However, I had to make it make sense for me and make it entertaining. Because after so long, the numbers, they all start to come together and look the same. And I never wanted to get bored with what I was doing. And I had a professor to tell me, if you find a career and you enjoy what you're doing, you need to enjoy it 8 days a week, 28 hours a day. And I remember just going to the dean and was like, I'm not going to the school no more. I'm paying for a professor that don't even know it's 7 days in the calendar week. But it took for that information to register that that means you're gonna love doing this day in and day out. And I do. I actually love helping people. I actually love when a person just says, look, I don't like taxes. whatever you got to do, just do it so I don't have to deal with it. And if I got to call the IRS, it's just not going to happen. Well, guess what? I don't mind calling the IRS. They're people like you and I, right? So if you treat them with respect, they're going to treat you with respect. And that's how I help people. Just letting them know that, you don't have to deal with everything. You don't have to feel like you're alone in this. You have someone that actually loves what they're doing and know what they're doing. So let me step in and take this load off of you.
Well,
And
you
here
can
you go.
see something that I put up here. Benita says,
That's my oldest
totally,
sister.
she said she totally agrees with your statement because you are weird.
But she was born first. So who's weird? Me or her?
And I just want you to know that Danielle Underwood says hello. Chantrice Granville says hello. Imani Abernathy says hey.
Hey,
And
everybody.
David Champlain Kingley says hello. And
That's my
Cindy
Hey, Miss
says
Cindy.
hello. Tommy says
Hey, that's
hello.
Tommy. Oh my God, I love him.
Wow.
Hi, Tommy. Hello, everyone. So those are all family and friends. Like I don't have many friends. My circle is so close. I talk to myself. So some of the people that you just named, I don't just look at them as friends. They're family because we've been through good, bad, and indifferent, and we're still here, and we still love each other. We support one another. We motivate one another, and it's a relationship, right? And we know how to communicate with one another. And with communication comes respect. And since all of those factor in, we make like the perfect foundation for family and friends.
Okay. So now I know you have a staff.
Yes.
And so
Excellent women. Excellent.
let's bring on your staff. I want you to introduce them and
Okay.
tell me exactly who they are and what they do.
Okay, so who we're looking at now is Lachey M. Hayes. Lachey M. Hayes is my business project manager. She handles all of the front end, HR, and logistics of the company. And Lachey is just that individual anytime between 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. I can count on her. Anytime. She's that person that I
Lachey,
need. Now,
Lachey, you're on mute. Unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Wait a minute. She said 2
I can
a.m.
hear you
You,
now.
you can't hear me? She,
I don't think she can
how
hear
did
you.
she know to come on? How did
I
she
can
hear
hear
you?
you now.
She can hear you now.
You
Can
can
you
hear me?
hear her?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So she says she can depend on you from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, those are my peak hours.
7 days a week.
Wow. Wow. Oh, girl, that's well. I know Shavonna told me she was a night person, so she had to find someone that she could communicate with in the middle of the night.
Yes, because nobody is up, right? So like
Mhm.
80% of my clients are actually asleep. The ones that's up, I think they appreciate the fact that I'm night and weekend and holiday because I want to accommodate everybody, right? There's only so much that you can do between 7 and 3, 8, 4, 9 to 5. There's only so much you can do on an hour lunch. So what about them people that work graveyard shift or 3 to
Mhm.
11, 4 to 12? I care about those individuals. So when they're off work at 12:30, 1 in the morning, they can call Anointed Accountant, and we're here eagerly and ready to help them.
Okay. So and I know you have someone else that works with you. I guess she's a night owl too.
No,
And
no,
so introduce her.
no,
Oh wait, she said no.
no.
So
That is
introduce her to the audience and tell us what she does.
So Shamil P. Baker is my public relation and communications manager. And I can depend on Shamil literally 7 days a week, guaranteed, no questions asked. However, after 5 p.m., she's like, Shavana, send me an email. I'll get it tomorrow. Or can Lachey do it? Because I got to go to sleep.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Wow.
I'm
So, Shamil, how are you?
good. How are you, Dr. Foreman?
Great.
So I work a 50-hour a week job out on top of AAA. So that's why I kind of can't be a night owl. But at the same time, I try to make sure that I'm also dedicating you know, a good amount of time to the business in order to make sure that our clients and customers are satisfied, that I'm answering questions and emails on time. But when it comes to PR and communications, I'm pretty much just like posting to social media all day, every day. Even while I'm on my, what does Shavana call it, corporate America job. Hope my boss is not watching this, but I'm constantly posting. I'm constantly posting about the informational things and when taxes are due and different stuff like that. So pretty much everything you see on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter is coming from me. So that's what I do. And then I'm also doing a bunch of other stuff outside of that. So
like business plans,
yeah,
non-disclosure agreements. Like we're a one-stop shop. So like anything that you need under the financial arena, we're here to service that need.
Okay. A question came in, Shavana, through text. It says here, in your practice, because you mentioned forensic accounting, and the person said, in your practice of forensic accounting, have you ever been asked to either help free or convict someone?
I have not had that opportunity. The closest I came to that was someone reached out to me and asked me if they ignored all of the certified mail from the federal government, could they be locked up for that? That's the closest I came to it. And I inquired more, but they were limited with the information that they wanted to give out, I guess, of course, because they're getting letters, but they never ever pursued it. But I'm actually waiting on that opportunity. Yes, I'm so waiting on that. Again, because I love the behind the scenes. I love the why. How come? Who did it? Should this have happened? Could this have went another way? So I always look at things from an octagon's perspective because there's 8 different sides. So I need to find all sides so nothing is hidden.
Question. None of us like the IRS and taxes. When someone comes to you, what do they need to give you? And in other words, in order for you to be able to do their taxes and give them justice and just to be straight with them about if they're going to get any money back or if they're not, or what they need to bring, what is it that you really need that a lot of people don't bring you?
Documents. So what I've witnessed over the years is they come and they say, like, I'm in all of this trouble, right? And I need all of this help. So of course I have to identify who you are. So I collect 2 forms of identification. I need to verify that you are who you say you are. And so then I ask a series of questions. And the looks that I get are like, is it another way around that? Or can we do something else? Because it's like a foreign language to them. So I try to break it down as best as possible. And I found out when I break things down and I talk to individuals, like we're out having dinner or we're on our way to a concert, it's like, oh, that's what that was. Well, I don't have it no more. I threw it away. I didn't know it was important. So some people come and they're organized like you. And then I have those that come, we just gonna pray for them. They're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. But the fact that they took the initiative to at least come, I welcome that, because it takes a lot for a person to entrust someone with their finances, right? And outside of the finances, you also have privileged information. And what I mean by privileged, you got your social, your driver's license number, your address, if you have any dependents, That stuff is very, very, very sensitive. And to relinquish that, especially to someone that you don't know, I commend those people. So if they come in with garbage bags and they say, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but I trust you. Here's everything. That makes me feel excellent because I'm doing something right. I'm helping you and you don't even know me, but you trust me. So I'm building that relationship again, right? And so with that comes now you're going to work not just with me, but you're going to have the chance to work with my staff because I want to give you 100% satisfaction. So if you need a question answered or you need something else, you can reach out to Shamil or Lachey. So documents is what I can say is the hardest.
So if it's midnight,
don't call Shamil if it's midnight. Don't call Shamil.
So if it's midnight, that means I can. But I can call Lachey.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I can call Lachey at midnight. If I wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, ooh, I forgot to give her this, I can call Lachey.
Yes.
Not me.
Now, if it's 6 in the morning, I'll be up.
Shamil said if it's 6 in the morning, she'll be woke. And so that's another thing that we're trying to have for our clients is availability. We want that availability for all times because you got morning people, you have midday people, you have afternoon, later evening, and then you got those night owls. So we want to accommodate everybody. We want to make sure everybody has that peace because we can have a conversation at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? And let's say you're not thinking about that, you're going throughout your day. So it's time to lay down, you're about to rest, and you get up for that glass of water at about 3 in the morning, and it's like, I got a question. But if I call, nobody's going to answer, and I got to leave a message. I don't really want to do that because what's the chance of them getting to me first thing in the morning? This is important to me. So that's where we come in at. Give us a call. And if we don't answer, we're going to call you right back.
I know you told me sometimes people bring in big garbage bags just full of stuff. So who do you give that to? Do you give that to Lachey?
Nobody.
Or Shamil or both?
Well, I initially tried giving it to Shamil.
Well, no. If I could interject, we have a client support team. But what we're doing right now is we're kind of trying out our client support team. So we basically have hired like temporary or seasonal associates to handle those garbage bags. Mm-hmm. Now, if that falls through, then she gives it to Shamil or Lachey ain't having it. Lachey a night out, but she ain't having no garbage bags. So she will give it to me, but that's after we've paid our client support team to try to work through it. So, and like our main focus is to have a client support team. Typically we're trying to hire because AAA is all about community and hiring people and stuff like that. So we try to hire like college students. So if there's any college students out there that's looking into accounting, these are the people that we're looking for to do the bookkeeping and the garbage bags full of receipts to sort all that stuff out. As a manager, as part of the management team, I'm like, okay, our client support team, they are awesome and amazing, but they also have lives and jobs and different stuff like that. So if they're not available, then I'm like, look, give it to me. I got it. We still got to get this done. The show must go on. We still got to do it. But we do value our client support team. Just when they're not available, we got to keep it rolling. This train gonna keep on rolling. So that's pretty much how we handle the garbage bags.
We work as a team.
I like to unit. Off of what Shamil said, one of the things, the culture of the company that we're building is that regardless of what position you have, everyone will have like client support training and experience, because I think like we deal with customers all day. So it's important for everyone to have that aspect of like dealing with the customers. And if, like Shamil said, like if one person's not available, the next person can step right in and business doesn't have to stop and our clients don't have to suffer because we have a person that's out there sick. The job still gets done. So we're
Right.
real big on making sure everyone is pretty diverse in their skill set. You know, so one day you may be a client support coordinator, but next week you may be an accounting clerk. So,
But the heads, you
but it's
never
about
know.
growth and learning. You know, like a lot of times companies keep you in one box, but I think it's always good, especially if you're a young professional, to get as much experience that you can so that you can be valuable like in these different companies. So
And we definitely want you to
Okay.
know
So,
what your check stub means. So
mhm.
we have to have that foundation. So if we start now and we start educating our clients, and it doesn't matter the age, I personally believe if you're able to ask for money, you should be able to know how to count it and know what to do with it. That's just me personally. With that comes training. And I believe if you have that foundation, it'll work in your favor, and it'll also help your accountant and your accounting agency as well. Because in the middle of the night, when that client support team isn't here, or when Lachey is working on a million different things and Shamil is dreaming, all of that falls on my desk. All of that falls on my desk. But the good thing about it is we work together. It's no, you do this, you did that. You no, we work as a team. It makes us stand out because we're united together. We're in it to win it, right, Shamil?
Mhm.
that's excellent. So, are some of the misconceptions about accounting and finance?
You don't
What do
have to
you
pay
get
your
from people?
accountant when you get your stuff done. They can wait. That's a misconception. The other misconception is some people will try to test you. And what I mean by test you is they may have something going on in corporate America to hide what they're doing illegally. And so they want to combine the two. And they'll try to test you to see, like, would you do this for me? And it's like, no, I'm not going to risk my license for you or for you to get a couple extra $1,000. It's not worth me risking it all for you. And some people will say, but why not? No, we just can't do that here.
I
We're
think, if I can just chime in, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that almost everybody feels like if they have an actual accountant, as opposed to doing taxes themselves or doing it on TurboTax, that they're guaranteed to get a refund. And that's not always the case. Me personally, since like I've been getting my taxes done with AAA since we formed the company, probably before we even formed the company. And I was one of those misconcepted people where I was like, people always have these sayings: the more you make, the more they take. If you don't have kids, you won't get tax, you won't get a refund and different stuff like that. So not really understanding it in the beginning from the peak, I felt like, okay, I got an accountant now. That means that I'm gonna get some money back and this and that. And then Shavana had to explain to me. She said, "Best friend slash sister, I'm gonna let you know you in a whole different tax bracket now. You done elevated and graduated to some whole different. So that little 2,000, 3,000, 1,500, whatever you was getting back, that yeah, that's not gonna happen." So I had to suck it up and swallow my pride. And I still curse her out. We talk every morning on my way to work, and I still curse her out every day. I hate the IRS. They always want to take my money. She say, "Well, you're making more money, so that's gonna happen." And I think one of the biggest misconceptions, when you start owning a business, when you
yes,
start buying a house, when you start owning stock,
yes,
all of that stuff, for one, it requires your accountant to do a lot more work.
yes,
It's no longer just a 1040. It's no
yes,
longer just a 1099. You got Schedule Ks and Schedule Cs and 4978s and different stuff like that. So a lot of people don't understand, because we started off as just individual taxpayers where we just do a 1040 and we're good. But the more that you take on investments, you take on real estate, you take on properties, you take on anything, it makes your tax situation a lot more complicated.
yes,
So a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, I used to pay H&R Block $500." Yeah, that's when you had a 1040. You were probably getting overcharged then, but now you got a 1040 and a Schedule C and a Special K and a KRS-One. So now it's like, the tax bill is higher for the IRS as well as your accountant. And I personally, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. I'm like, okay, Shavonna, I guess I gotta pay the IRS, set up a payment plan, because I can't afford to pay them $5,000 in 1 year. You know, I can't do it. But that's just my personal opinion.
What about you, Lachey?
I don't know if I want to say like a misconception, but I wanted to add on to what Shamil was saying. I think a lot of it comes from people just not being educated and not really valuing what accountants do. And I think that, like, even though a lot of people may do their own taxes, we still have a lot of people who let aunts and uncles and friends of a friend do their taxes, and they're just doing the paperwork and they just send it off, and you don't know, you know, like what's going on. So if you're constantly getting a certain amount, or these things are happening every year, and no one is really breaking it down to you, you don't know. So when you get to actually work with an accountant, you're like, wait a minute, like, what are you talking about? Because nobody's been explaining these things to you over the years. And I think like one of the things that made me really enjoy seeing Shavonna work is that it's not about me just getting a job done and, you know, making sure we hit the deadline. It's making sure that you also understand what we're dealing with before we even move forward. Let me go through here. Let me see what we're looking at. Let me explain it to you. Ask you a couple questions to make sure you understand, and then we'll move forward. So I think like that changes the game like a lot when you have someone who is not just about, getting a paycheck or just trying to get you out their face, and just really educating our community and stuff more about where our money is going and things that we need to look into to be able to protect ourselves as we grow financially. And I think people just don't know.
And education is a big key to that. And that's what we like to do at Anointed Accounting. I'm definitely a firm believer on educating you about your finances, because you see a paycheck and that's what you see. You don't see the behind the scene. So I believe if you know what goes with that, and what I mean from start to finish, that's you getting prepared, that's you going into the interview, and now you're hired. That next step comes documents. It starts there as well. And when people don't know, because like Lachey said, friends, aunts, uncles, they'll tell you what they did or what they heard, and you will take that versus you wanting to come to a professional. But that's what we're here for. We want you not to be not knowing anything that's going on. If you coming out of AA and A, you're gonna be a junior accountant in knowledge, because I'm gonna give that to you. I'm gonna give you what I got.
And just to sum it up, we always say there is a major difference between an accountant
and
a person that just does taxes.
Yes.
Anybody can do taxes. Anybody. All you gotta do is get on a little TurboTax software or whatever. But them people that do taxes, they just learn what to put on line 1, 2, 3, A, B, and C. Yes. But they don't understand the laws and the compliance and the back end of the situation.
They can't detect certain stuff.
That's why it's important to have an accountant, because those people went to school and they understand, and we study and we research and we know, we have the knowledge about, if this then that. It's this classic psychology. If this then that, it's always going to be a repercussion for whatever you put on line 1, 2, 3, 8.
Yes.
And the people that just does taxes, they don't know what that repercussion is. They don't know what
when the IRS come looking for you, you're not going to be able to find them.
They're done after April 15th, whereas we're here from January 1 to December 31st. We're every day. And we don't just do taxes. And that's another misconception, because we prepare taxes. They think that's all that we do. That's not. We do everything under the financial arena. Again, we want to make this a one-stop shop.
So let me ask a question. For people who own businesses, what are some, I would say, accounting best practices they should adopt?
Get a business plan.
Yes, that's one. You definitely want a business plan. You definitely got to have that for sure. You also want to make sure that they're set up as the entity they're supposed to be set up. So a LLC, an S corp, a corporation, a partnership. You just want to make sure they have all of their documents from the IRS and from the Secretary of State if they're in the state of Illinois. If they're in another state, of course, it's going to be that state of the secretary of that state. So we just want to make sure they have all of their documents. And then after that, we don't want them to commingle funds. So I'm big on telling individuals, get a business bank account. That is so important. That is very, very, very vital. And I tell people that treat that bank account with pride and joy, because it's your child. Because you went into business to make money, right? And you want to see a return on your investment. But if you got $1,000 sitting in that account and you see that outfit with that leather coat, that $1,000 is gone. So you just got to keep letting it pile up, and then you can take that shopping spree when it's time. But you want to invest in your business first. You got to
It
do that.
also helps. It also helps with the bookkeeping, right, Shavana? You know,
Yes.
the biggest thing that we run into with the because outside of taxes and accounting, we do bookkeeping, we do so many other things. Lachey does business coaching and life coaching and all type of stuff. So when we run into a lot where people commingle their funds, so when we're trying to separate your business from your personal, and you got your personal where you're going to the movies and you're going to Disneyland. I mean, you got your business where you're going to the movies and you're going to Disneyland, and that's why I don't like to do it, because I'm like, wait a minute. So did this person, is Disneyland a part of them taking a client on a trip, or did they take their kids on the trip? So it's very important when you have your business account. And I don't think it costs anything extra, right, Shavana, to do a business account? It's
Well,
just
typically depending on the banks, and I don't want to speak for their prices, but I know some banks may start at like $14 a month if you don't have that daily balance set. So some banks may say you have to keep a daily balance of 2,500 in order not to get a monthly service fee.
right.
Or
But
you
if
have
you do a business account and you're strictly using it for business, I pray to God that everybody's business is profitable, but it's very not just easier on your accountant, but it's a lot easier on yourself, because if you ever get audited or you ever have anybody that's asking me any questions, you can clearly show that I use this strictly for my business.
yes,
You don't even have to show your personal. You can do whatever you want with your personal, whether
because
it's
it's
only, yeah, whatever it is, whether you want to go, whatever, take a trip to Maui or OnlyFans or whatever you want to do, you do that with your personal, but try not to mingle it with your business.
yeah,
Cause
and that's where I come in at on the background, especially when you have I've had companies to reach out to me and say, hey, look, our funds are not looking like they're supposed to look. We need a little help. What's going on? And so here comes the why, and here comes these transactions, because everything starts with a transaction. So it's like, okay, here's a $6,000 transaction. What is this for? I didn't know that was there. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to set up a meeting and talk about that. Because if you don't know, how you expect me to know? So let's do some investigating. And that's a lot that happened.
I was just gonna say, it also helps when you're trying to do your profit and loss statement, your balance sheets, all this different stuff that you need for your business. The more your business grow, the more paper trail you want to have for it. A lot of people think paper trail. Most people think paper trail, I'm protecting myself from something. But with your business, you want to have that. You should keep at least 10 years worth of
Yes.
financials for your business at all times.
Yes.
So, as you're growing into that 10 years, you got to keep all of that, whether it's in paper or it's digital or however you're going to keep it, but you want to keep it. Most times you could give it to your accountant and they have it stored. But
don't do that. Let me interject. Please do not give it to your accountant. Your accountant is not Public Storage or U-Haul. We have enough. I don't know if you can see, but I have not seen this floor since January. So thank you, Dr. Fortman. And again, we're approaching a deadline. Our deadline falls on the weekend, which is Sunday. So we foul out that Monday. So again, I can see the floor. So please do not leave your documents with your accountant. Please come back and retrieve your documents and whatever else you have. And again, that comes with the relationship as we started in the beginning, because they're comfortable.
Wait, are you talking to me?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Are you talking to me?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You have a folder, Dr. Foreman. I wish I could just show you the bins that I have. And I call clients and say, are you going to come get your stuff? Shavonna, I'll be there. I'm coming, girl. It ain't going nowhere. Well, I would like to use my closet tomorrow. When do you think you coming? I got stuff from 7 years ago. They just won't come get it. And they say, well, guess what? I
So,
trust you, so keep it.
okay, so Shamil said something about keeping your records for 10 years. I
Yes, ma'am.
thought that after 7 years, you could destroy stuff. So you're
You,
saying no, 10
So
years
I don't
or
suggest
So
that you.
7
forever?
years. Can I answer that? So 7 years is the statute of limitations. Most people getting confused. 7 years is the statute of limitations for credit, right? But
Right.
the IRS credit never. Like if you owe the IRS, you gonna owe them forever. So 7 years is not enough. Typically, like if you think about it, Dr. Foreman, most things that you apply to with the federal government, like I just recently applied for concealed carry. They wanted to know 10 years of my
Residency.
residential history.
Yes.
So when it comes to the federal government, most things are 10 years. A lot of people, that's probably another good misconception. A lot of people feel like, oh, after 7 years, because they hear with credit, most of your stuff fall off after 7 years, except for anything you owe the federal government, anything you owe the state, and any medical bills that you owe. So that doesn't expire. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. You
Not
want
until it's paid or
you
go
want to
ahead.
keep your records anyway, just for you, because you want to know what happened. So, like the the story that you told coming on, you had an accountant. You were under the impression that they filed these prior 2 years. Well, let's just say you didn't have those documents, right? Yes, we can pull the information for you, and it may take some time, but if you yourself had those records, then it wouldn't be an issue. Now, what I would say to any of my clients, if you're not good at keeping records, and what I mean by records, W 2s, 1099s, yes, you can bring that to us because we're going to put it in your file. And you want to be able to reference something. Because if someone come back and asks for something, you want to be able to say, yes, I have it on hand. I can get it for you. Whereas I don't know what I did with that. I need that for real. Well, of course you need it. So yeah, you want to keep your documents. It's going to be so beneficial to you. Very beneficial.
Dr. Foreman, I still got my 8th grade report card. Okay, I'm not playing.
Wait a
If
minute,
they tell me,
honey.
if
Wait,
they tell me I didn't
No, she better
graduate,
not pull out no report card, Dr. Foreman.
if they
I
tell me I didn't graduate tomorrow, I still got it.
And she got her, oh my God.
Yes, yes.
honey,
I don't
this
have
is
that far
from
back, but I had my first
19.
ticket.
Wait a minute. This is from
Who said
before you
first
all were
ticket?
born. This is from 1954.
Whoa.
Well,
This is not
so
right. This is
so we
my
know you
report
got your
card.
ducks in a row.
Right,
You
she's
my
very
kind of client.
organized. She's very organized.
You
Very.
my kind of client. You might be a little OCD like us.
Oh,
I'm
see,
going to give my advice.
So, Shavonna, what is the hardest part? I know you said a lot of different things, but I want two things. What's the hardest part and what's the most rewarding part of you being an accountant?
woo. I only can do two. Okay. The
Only equal numbers.
the rewarding part is my clients are satisfied. That's very rewarding to me because they have no worries, no cares. It's like I almost have to call them and remind them, can you get me this like now? Oh, well, no, let me just give you my user information and you log in and get it. No, I want you to get it for me. And so when they don't oblige, I have to go in and get it. So that's very rewarding to me because it's that trust. And I value that trust. I definitely value that. That helps me help them. The hardest part is the clients that only come maybe once or twice a year, depending on the service. Just that interaction and that closeness. That's what I want to say I miss. So I have to pick up the phone and say, hey, how you doing? I know it's not tax time, but I'm thinking about you. How's your day? How's your husband or your wife? How's the kids doing in school? How's the bird? because I care. You're not just a dollar to me. I know each of my clients individually, all of them. So that's rewarding to me.
And
That's very
that's why
rewarding.
I wanted you on the show, because this show is all about relationships.
Yes.
And in order to be a successful business owner, you have to me, you have to form real relationships, because that's the difference between, let's say, you as an accountant and someone else as an
Mhm.
accountant. So the next question is, how do you find one that you can trust? Because I thought I had one that I could trust.
Well, it's a lot of different factors behind that, right? So, what I can say for me is that I'm real big on my name. I've had my name for a lot of sunrises. So I care about that. That means something to me. So if I give you my word on my name and my accountability, you can trust that. So typically when you're looking for an accountant, you want to find somebody that's knowledgeable, right? You want to make sure they know what they're talking about. Not only that, you want to make sure there's passion in what they're doing, right? So again, as Shamil pointed out, and that's one of my disclaimers, there's a difference between a person that prepares taxes and a tax preparer. Two totally different people. And so once I think you navigate through that and you find comfort in that individual, everything will start to flow easily. As you can go back to you and I when we spoke the other day. And once I showed you what you didn't know, everything came off. It was like, well, okay, well, let me tell you this. Well, what about this? And you just got the talking and you felt comfortable because not only because of that atmosphere, but because of what we bring at Anointed Accounting. And I'm gonna let Lachey add her piece to that too, because this is her thing. Like she loves the interaction, she loves the client support, she loves the relationships, and she was the one that pointed out to me a few years ago when she saw me in action on a deadline. Her and Shamil, they both told me if we didn't know you, we would assume that everybody that you dealt with was your friend or your cousin because I just don't understand how these are clients and the relationship that you have. Like, you know, each one of these people in their own little way. And I do.
Birthday, she be dog sitting, all kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
I do. I do. I do. Because I love my clients. And again,
So a
my
question,
clients are not just a dollar to me.
Shavana. Okay, we only got a few. We only have a few minutes, and a question came in here. What is the worst tax return that you have had to prepare?
um,
Only got
I'm
don't,
not gonna say
don't
I'm not
only
gonna
got a
say
couple of
worse.
minutes.
I'm not gonna say worse.
Don't go into too much detail. Just give the gist of it.
I'm not gonna say worse. What I will say is that there are certain forms that I don't care for. So I don't care for Schedule D's, and that's anyone that sells a ton of stock, and the pages are like
No,
30 and 40
no.
pages, and we have to enter that information in. So I'm not gonna say it's the worst, but I don't prefer that part of it, but I do it with excellence, if that makes sense.
Shavana, that's not the worst. As her best friend slash sister, that was not the worst. Schedule D's, we can figure it out. We'll put our three heads together and we'll get it done. The worst would probably be either the one that was like somebody bringing 7, 8, 10 years of undone taxes, or somebody who doesn't understand how much goes into it. Like some people come to you and they be like, look, I got a business, I got a personal, I got this, I got that. Make it happen. I need $6,000 back. Oh no, sir. I'm sorry. That's not the way that happens. And
They're
they
still
just don't
not the
understand
worst
it.
though.
Like
They're
they
not the
literally
worst.
come. These are the ones I hear about in my sleep because I ain't a night owl. These are the ones I hear about in my sleep. Like this person think I'm supposed to just make them get a refund out of nowhere, and they come with all this and all that. Like you're just supposed to make it happen. And that goes back to the consensus. Like people really need to understand that your accountant is your accountant. They take what you give them and they make it right so you can be in compliance with the IRS. They
Yes.
can't make magic. We can't make magic. We can't pull a rabbit
And
out of the hat.
and it's teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you're the client, you have to help us help you.
Mm-hmm.
So especially when it comes to deadlines and different things and stuff, like if we say we need the stuff by April 10th, you need to have it in by April 5th.
It's
So
like having an appointment.
right, it's those type of things I think that makes things a little bit more challenging, because it's like we're a small team, so we have a system, and our goal is always to try to make sure we don't run into any problems that can put you potentially in a position where you're charged money, or we have to eat the cost because we missed the deadline or something. So I think, like with our company, we want our clients to feel like you're very much a part of this process. So we're going to give you what you need. Just show up for us, and we're going to make the magic work. It's the most important thing. And
Very
then,
well, Shavonna. In one sentence, because we only got 4 minutes. In one sentence, what would you tell someone who wants to start an accounting business?
Go to school.
You got 60 seconds to say this. Do what?
Go to school. Pray every day, and do all your homework. Do all your homework, and that's it.
And find some people you can trust.
If people want to get in contact with you, how do they get in contact with you?
So there's several different ways. You can visit us at the website, which is www.anointed, which is ANOINTED, accounting, ACCOUNTING.com. Or you can give us a call at 312-632-8860. And I'm going to let Shamil give you our social media platform information.
You can also contact us on any social media platform. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are all Anointed Accounting. Twitter is Anointed Account, and we are also on Yelp, Google. So you can always look us up. We're on the Better Business Bureau. There's multiple ways you can give any one of us a call.
check out the website, and then it'll have all the contact information as well.
Okay. So, Benita Bush says, "You ladies rock. Love you guys."
I love her.
You know what? I have to say that too.
You rock too, Dr. Fortman.
And anyone, girl, thank you. But anyone who, I was trying to put this on here right quick, but it's not, it's slow. But they can go to Anoint. I had created the banner for you, but let's see if I can get it on here before Anointed Accounting.com.
Yes, ma'am.
But I want to thank you, ladies, for just really giving us an insight into here quickly. For really talking about your business and really showing us, what a good accounting firm is. And I really appreciate you. I am so glad that I met you, Shavonna.
I'm glad I met you too.
And I want $6,000 back, Shamil.
You ain't been listening to none of this? No, I'm listening. Thank you for having us on.
And thank you all for coming on.
Thank you. We so appreciate this. Thank everyone for watching. Friends, family, wherever you in the world, give us a call. We're here. Call now. We're here.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
That's Anointed Accounting with one N.com.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, you all have a beautiful, there you go. You all have a beautiful, blessed rest of your evening. And thank you. And I really mean it, Shamil. See you all.
See you. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
This has been really enjoyable, and we went over, but this was really great. So if you need an accountant, she does it virtually and in person. AnointedAccounting.com. See you all next week. Take care.